How does it feel to be an outsider? Ano ang pakiramdam na ikaw ay iniid sa puwera, nasa labas, binabaliwala at hindi pinapansin? Of course, that's painful, right? Yun nga lang, pumunta ka sa isang handaan na ibang circle of friends yung nandun, nag-uusap-usap sila, tapos di mo maintindihan, sabi mo nga, out of place ka, di ba? Yun pa kayang alam mo namang kilala ka ng mga taong yon, pero dahil meron lang silang hindi nagustuhan sa iyo, pinili nilang iwasan ka, pinili nilang wag kang kausapin. And then suddenly you feel that you are an outsider. My dear brothers and sisters, this is the feeling, this is the pain of the lepers in the Jewish culture or among the Jews. Because in the law, as we have heard in the first reading today, lepers should remain outside the city or outside the camp. They should be separated from the community because for them, any disease of the skin is contagious and can harm anyone in the community. Alam po ninyo, ang pinakamasakit sa kalagayan o sitwasyon noong mga ketongin ay hindi lang yung physical pain because of the disease. And actually, according to some doctors, yun nga daw, ketong, hindi na masakit yun sa balat o sa kalamnan kahit parang naaagnas na dahil parang namamanhid yung katawan. Kaya hindi mo maramdaman kung ano yung epekto noon sa balat mo. Pero ano yung mas mabigat para sa mga ketongin? Yung mawalay ka sa sarili mong pamilya, yung mawalay ka doon sa komunidad, yung mawalay ka doon sa pagsamba sa Diyos. Because in the Jewish culture, leprosy is considered as a punishment for sin. And that is an indication that you are impure and therefore not worthy of the worship of the Lord. In short, outsider ka nga kapag meron kang leprosy. At yung leprosy po ay hindi lang basta yung naaagnas yung balat mo. Magkaroon ka lang ng maraming tigidig sa muka, magkaroon ka lang ng rashes sa braso mo, magkaroon ka ng kahit anong sakit sa balat, kahit pigsa lang yan, kahit kuliti lang yan, that will be considered as a skin disease and you will be subjected to quarantine. And that kind of quarantine is not quarantine within your home, that you can see your families. No. The quarantine that I'm referring to is that you stay outside the city, you stay outside the community. Are you following me? Yes or no? Now, eto ngayon yan. If we are saying that the pain that they feel is not only physically but emotionally, today it is very relevant because of the COVID-19. We know that it is a very contagious disease. And because of this disease, many people feel that they are outsiders. Those who were diagnosed positive in COVID-19, those who are close to them, their families, the frontliners, they are considered outcast. Alam po ninyo, marami pong mga tao ang kakilala ko na nag-positive sa COVID. Marami din po akong kakilala at ako po mismo nagkaroon ng exposure sa isang tao na COVID positive. At naranasan ko po yung feeling na para bang meron ka ding ketong. People will avoid you and then people will be paranoid na, "Uy, nagkausap tayo kahapon, magpapacheck up na ako bukas." Na para bang ikaw ang papatay sa kanila. Di ba? So, when you experience that, if you are a frontliner, you experience that isolation. At sabi nila, yun naman daw talaga yung mas masakit. Hindi yung katotohanan na natatakot kang mamatay Hindi. Kundi yung mga taong iniisip mo noon na dapat nakakaunawa at tatanggap pa rin sa'yo dahil sa COVID-19, itinuring kang iba sa kanila. Aray? Aray. Masakit yun. Na yung mga taong mismong pinagkakatiwalaan mo, sila pa yung nag-isolate sa'yo. Amen? So, speaking of isolation, my dear brothers and sisters, let us think of those people that are isolated right now. The people who are diagnosed positive with COVID-19. Those who are exposed to them, the frontliners, their families, their friends. Instead of judging them, instead of isolating them, we should reach out to them. Question: where did the leper meet or met Jesus Christ? Saan nakatagpo, saan na-encounter ng ketongin ang ating Panginoong Hesus? Saan? Sa loob o sa labas? Sa loob o sa labas? Inside or outside? Gusto pa pala Ingles ka, gusto magot. Outside. And when we hear places in the gospel, it means it is very important and it is very significant. Jesus being outside, meeting the lepers, meeting all those who are sick, will remind us, my dear brothers and sisters, that in our isolation, Jesus meets us. And at this point, I want to talk to those people who feel isolated right now. Yung mga tao na feeling nila iniitsapwera sila, hindi sila pinapansin, binabaliwala o kaya naman ay iniiwasan dahil sa kanilang karamdaman o anumang kakulangan meron kayo. Yes, I am talking to you right now. Jesus is talking to you right now. Jesus was met by the leper outside. Jesus was met by the leper in the time when he felt so isolated. And the message is clear. If you feel isolated, Jesus will be your company. In your moments of isolation, Jesus is your companion. Let me repeat that. To those who are sick, to those who are suffering right now because of other reasons, in your moments of isolation, Jesus is your companion. And so, go to Him. Your sickness is an opportunity to be reunited with Jesus. Maraming nag-positive sa COVID-19, marami pong nagkasakit ang nagsabing dahil sa karamdaman nila, napalapit sila sa Panginoon. Maraming nagmahal at nasaktan at ngayong Valentine's Day ay single, na kaya nagsisimba ay dahil nagpapasalamat sa Diyos na yung taong nanloko sa kanila ay hindi na nila ka-Valentine's ngayon. They feel isolated, they feel alone, but Jesus is their companion. Amen? Palakpakan natin ang mga single. You see, and that is my last point. The love of Jesus is never exclusive. The point of Jesus going outside and remaining outside is an indication of God's inclusivity. Because God's love is not exclusive. It should include everyone, even those who are outside. Every time that we attend the Holy Eucharist, the priest will say at the end of the Mass, "Go forth in the peace of Christ. Go forth and proclaim the gospel." And what does it mean? Lumabas kayo. Go outside and there meet Jesus in the face of the people who are isolated, who are needing love, care, and attention. Ang problema ay pinagsisiksikan mo yung sarili mo sa taong gusto mong mahalin, pero hindi ka naman gusto. Pero, yun namang mga taong nagpaparamdam sa iyong mahal ka nila, yung pamilya mo, yung magulang mo, yung mga kapatid mo, yung mga taong nakapaligid sa iyo, hindi mo naman pinapansin. Bakit? Kasi gusto mo ang pag-ibig mo eksklusibo. Ano ka, HBC? God's love is meant to be inclusive. It should include everyone, even those who are outside. So the challenge for us by Paul in the second reading is very clear. I am not for myself. I am for the many. What I do is not only for the few, but for the many. Hindi pwedeng tayo-tayo lang. Hindi pwedeng kami-kami lang. It should include everyone. And if we are going to pray, my dear brothers and sisters, that COVID may go away, what is the reason? Ano ang dahilan? Bakit pinagaling ni Hesus ang ketongin? At ano ang dahilan ng Panginoon kung tayo ay pagagalingin niya sa COVID-19? Ask me what? Last ko na itatanong ito, kaya sagutin niyo na ako, please. Ask me what? Ano nga ba? Ang gustong mangyari ni Hesus kapag tayo'y kanyang pinagaling, ay muli nating makapiling ang mga taong mahal natin. We don't pray the oratio imperata against COVID-19 so that we can go to the malls without face mask and face shield. No, we don't pray the oratio imperata so that we can do whatever we want without the limits that the quarantine protocols set before us. No, we want the pandemic to end so that once again we can hug one another freely. So that once again we can freely gather together and express our love concretely to our friends, with our families, with our community. So that without hesitation, we can go once again to the church, gather without social distancing, and feel the presence of God and the inclusive love of God through one another. Do I hear a loud amen? That is the reason why Jesus told the leper, instead of telling this news to other people, go immediately to the priest so that the priest may declare you clean. And because of that, you can worship at the temple. You can go back to your family and be reunited with them. That is the point of God's healing grace. It does not only intend to heal you personally, it intends to heal your relationships. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, remember, every time that you feel isolated, every time that you are in isolation, God is your companion. And we are healed by God to be reunited with our families and to cherish our relationship with them, to be closer to one another and to be closer with God once again. And as we celebrate this Holy Eucharist, let us always remember to encounter Jesus outside in the face of those people who are looking for love and attention, because God's love, ang pagmamahal ni Hesus, kailanman ay hindi lamang para sa iilan, kundi para sa lahat ng nangangailangan. Let your love be inclusive. Amen.